In today's tutorial, we're learning how to make this really cool floating island effect with real estate in Canva in just a few minutes. And we'll not only learn the landscape version, we'll also create a portrait variant that you could use for poster designs or, for example, social media content. So this tutorial I'll split up into two parts. First, we'll make the design in a regular 16:9 format. That's the easiest way to explain. And secondly, we will convert it to different formats like a poster, social media materials, anything that you could use this design in. So let's jump into Canva, and we're starting from this blank page. Now first we want to collect a bit of the elements. So we're going to the Elements tab, and here we type in floating island, because that's going to be the main part of our tutorial. There's graphics, photos. We're going to have a look at the graphics first, and here we can see there's more of a cartoon vector style. So we want something more realistic, so I think the photo section will be better. And instantly we can already see there's quite a few nice ones here. So pick whichever one fits your style the best. I'll go for this yellow one here. I don't like the yellow, but I think the island itself is pretty clean. So we're going to use the background remover to get rid of that yellow background. And then scale the edges or crop the edges a little bit until everything nicely fits the screen. If we now increase it, we can see also the high resolution is available. So that is good. Next, let's look for the house. So we're going to look for a house. And here you can choose whichever one you like. The better one is the one with the cleanest edge. So if you take one of those, for example, you can easily get the house from this one. This one, it will be a lot harder since there's less clean edges that you could use. So let's look and see if we can find one that we like. Sometimes there's already examples without a edge. So if you look at this one, it's been cut out, so it's pretty neat. If you look at the edges, I think that's a good one we can use. So we're going to scale it down and then sort of position it on the property. And instantly I can see this sort of walkway, a pathway. If we can connect it with the edge, and I'm just using the arrow keys here to nudge it to the side, that already looks quite realistic. So we don't have to cut the background yet, but it already looks quite good. So if we zoom in, the edges are not too bad. We're going to clean them up, but they're not too bad at the moment. Let's look for some extra materials, like for example trees and bushes that we can add to the design to make it more realistic. So I'll start with some trees. Look for a tree. We're staying in that photorealistic style to have the consistency. And then you look for a nice tree. Looking at the house itself, so if we zoom in a little bit, we can see a lot of warm tones. So a lot of the orange, darker, warmer tones. So we want to stick to that color palette. If you look at the trees, there's a few. This one, for example, is a bit cold. And this one here is a lot warmer since it has that sunshine or the light reflection on it. It has a white background, but we can just use the background remover to get rid of it. Then we scale it down and position it on the property. The nice thing is if you have like very rough edges of the house, you can easily place the tree next to it to sort of cover it up. So it instantly looks more realistic and everything blends in nicely, and that's what we want. We can always copy that tree, but I think that's a bit being lazy. I think it's nicer if we choose a different tree, one that fits the property. Let's take this one and then put it on the other side. Here we can see there's a little bit of a mismatch between the colors. So if you want to adjust it, you can always go to Edit and then go to Adjust and then play around with the temperature, the tint, and then at the bottom I can see here we can change that tone. So if you want to make it cooler, more to the blue side, if you want to make it a bit more warm, you drag it more towards the orange or red side. So that's what we want to create. I think this one will be quite good. Now we want to clean up the edges. And for that, I'm going to use some grass and some bushes. So everything to make it blend in naturally. So let's type in grass instead of tree. And then look for a nice patch of grass that we can use. I think this one might look quite good. It doesn't have a background, so that's nice. Let's scale it down and put it here in the front of the garden. So now we want to mainly cover up the rough edges. This one already blends in quite nicely. So let's just add one or two bushes in front. Use that same adjust file to drag it to the more warmer side. And you can see, if we zoom in, it nicely blends with the rest. So that's what we want. It has the same color tone, has the same tint. You can always color edit if you want something more, but I think this will be good for now. And I'm holding the Option key and just dragging to create copies. It's currently not showing in my preview, but as soon as I release, they will be there. There we go. Maybe one or two more here. You can always change them in size. I'm not sure why they're not showing up on my screen. They're still here if I select them. So I think they will take a bit longer. There they are. Maybe an extra one here. One or two at the bottom. We can also cover up that tree bottom here. There we go. I think that doesn't look too bad, to be honest. So that's a good start from the design. Now let's have a look at the background. So we can choose whatever we want. There's multiple ways you can go. For example, clouds. If you want to go from clouds, let's say top view. So it's like you're above the clouds. And you drag that image in. Let's take this one, for example. Drag it in, position, send to back. You can see it's a totally different feeling of that image. And it also works. So it's a bit of that magical photorealistic combination that you have there. But I think for now we'll go for a gradient one. So I'm going for gradient yellow. And then look for a nice one, I think this one. And send it back. Position, send it back. Now to make that floating effect appear real, I'm also going to add a shadow. So go to graphics and then look for one of these circular shadows. I think a flat one, like an oval, will be good. And if we place it below, we can see it instantly gives that sort of a lift feeling from the design. So it adds that 3D element, and that's what we want. Now we're looking for that glass bubble. So we're going to look for a bubble, glass bubble. And we see there's a lot of variations available. You can choose a few. I'm going for a realistic one. So there's this one's available. Let's select a few and see what it looks like. And I think both of these designs will work. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm going for the right one here. I think that fits the style just a bit better. So I'm going to use this one. And we also have that weird edge here, so we can easily work that into the picture or work it out. We're going to scale it until the edge here on the left sort of meets. And we have a similar edge on the right. Then we're going to crop the image until we meet that border. Right around here will be good. And this already gives that bubble effect on top of your image. The tree is still poking out, so I'm going to make it slightly smaller and adjust it until it nicely fits that bubble. Now we're going to look at the finishing touches, and for that I'm going to add some clouds. So go to clouds and then go to the photos, because we want the realistic ones, the PNGs without a background. And then sometimes they're hard to see, but you can just select a few and add them on your page. These ones are quite harsh. There's also ones that are a bit softer, like this one, for example. And then with the magic recommendation, you'll get quite a lot of variation. So you can add a few on the slide and then pick whichever one you like best. I think I'll go for the more subtle one. So this one's a bit too heavy. I'm going to get rid of that one and then increase the other ones and sort of spread them around your design. You can always create copies and flip them horizontally to have a variation. Now we want to send this backward until it's behind the design. So it looks like it gives that 3D effect in your design, and that's what we want to create. Let's do it like this. That's not looking too bad. Now let's already look at a preview of this. So now let's maybe have a look at the animation, see if we can animate this part. I'm going to select everything, deselect the clouds, and then group it all together. So we have this acting as one element. That's what we want to create. And then the clouds can act separately. We're going to animate and then maybe do a rise animation for this one. Well, the clouds, I think we can add a pan animation, but maybe from different sides. So these ones, they can come in from the other direction. And let's preview that. Let's maybe put a delay on it. So I'm going to duplicate the page, get rid of the elements, and then just do a non-transition. So we start from a clean slide, and as soon as we click, we get everything popping in nicely. So it's already looking quite good in my opinion. So now let's have a look at the second part of the tutorial, which is creating the variations like a poster format or social media designs. And for that, we're also starting from that design that we've created. We're going to use this resize button. And for resize, I'm going to choose a social media. Let's go for an Instagram post and Instagram story, for example. We can resize the design to have this design converted or cropped, or we can copy and resize to make a duplicate, and we're going to do that. It takes a few seconds, and then it will instantly open up that new format. So open your story, and here we can see the elements have been transferred. So we have two slides, the first one the empty one, second, the one with the elements. So this one, I'm going to select it all, increase it in size until it somehow meets the borders. And then I'm going to reposition a few things. So let's ungroup, maybe make this one a bit bigger so that we create some more space within that design. Maybe reduce the transparency since it's a bit higher, so the shadow is less harsh. And then increase and reposition some of the clouds until everything looks nice again. The good thing about the clouds is that if you have some rough edges, you can easily cover them up. So the clouds, if, for example, here, you're not very happy with that edge, how it connects, you can easily just put the cloud over it and it sort of covers up that little unclear part of your design. So it's a pretty nice trick to do it that way. So like this, maybe add a nice title and a footer. So this could be an eye-catching image for your design, for example, real estate, whatever it has to be. You can just add a title, yourcompany.com, going for the website at the bottom. Let's delete this for now. Maybe a different font. I'm going for something more subtle. I think the Grandier will be nice, but we're going for a thin one at the bottom, thin or regular, and then use a nice gray color and make it a bit smaller. For the title, we're using the same font. There we go. Let's use extra bold, and then let's call it Island. Scale it upwards and put it at the top of your design. I'm going to drag everything downwards just a little bit so we can have that title next to it or above it. That looks nice. Create a copy and we say floating. For this, I would like to use a different font, more something handwritten to have that contrast with it. So let's try a few. I think this one already looks quite good. Make it smaller and position it here on top of the design. So I think that doesn't look too bad. You can always change the size if you want to. And then you have a pretty cool design. So now let's share, download, and then as a PNG, and you can just download it and use it in any of the mockups that you have. So now let's preview both of our designs. And this is how you can make these really nice posters in Canva in just a few minutes. And now we know how to make this a landscape format as well as the portrait version for example, posters or Instagram stories. So it's a really nice way to get a captivating image in your designs. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to learn more about Canva, make sure to watch the video on the screen right now.